15 soybeans. Tokyo winters during the war were much colder than they are now. "We're cold, sleepy, and hungry," Totto and her friends took to chanting as they walked to and from Tomoe Gakuen. They sometimes added a simple melody too, and sang it as if it were their very own theme song. While the rationing of rice had begun before the Pacific War, it didn't take long once the fighting commenced for restaurants to start shutting their doors one after the other. As the war stretched on, rice rations turned into distributions of sweet potatoes, soybeans, corn, and coarse grains. By the time the rice in Totto's lunch had been entirely replaced by soybeans, her hunger became almost unbearable. Come sports day, it seemed as if the white rice in everybody's lunchboxes had vanished all at once. Totto thought back to the sweet inari sushi her mother had made her the previous year and felt crestfallen. Totto was about to leave for school one chilly morning when her mother handed her an envelope containing 15 soybeans that she'd roasted in a frying pan. "Now listen to me. This needs to last you the whole day." She placed the envelope in Totto's palm. "Don't gobble it up all at once. There won't be any food for you when you come home, so really think about when and how many you eat throughout the day." Totto let that sink in. Starting today, this would be all she had for lunch, and no matter how hungry she was, she couldn't afford to finish it in one sitting. "Drink lots of water with these. It will help to fill your stomach," Mother repeatedly reminded Totto. 15 soybeans. "I suppose I'll have 3 for breakfast," Totto decided, and popped one in her mouth on the way to school. Crunch, crunch. She chewed slowly with her molars, but the soybean was gone in no time. On to the second. Crunch, crunch. Again, gone in a flash. Just one more. "And that's 3, she sighed. Once she got to school, she drank plenty of water as Mother had instructed. "Those 3 beans will soak up the water and get nice and big," she thought to herself as she imagined the soybeans expanding in her stomach. Totto tucked the envelope into her trouser pocket. She had only 12 soybeans left. Right around lunchtime, they were in the middle of class when a siren sounded to warn of an air raid. Totto and her classmates took refuge in the bomb shelter in a corner of the schoolyard. With the bunker door closed, the shelter became pitch dark. The children held their breaths and stayed quiet in the beginning, but they soon grew restless and started to pass the time by whispering to one another. "I had ice cream once," somebody said. "Oh, me too," Totto piped up. As they waited impatiently in that dark shelter for the siren that signaled the end of the alert, Totto couldn't stop thinking about her soybeans. Unable to bear it any longer, she reached inside the envelope and placed 2 beans into her mouth, taking great care not to drop them. Crunch, crunch, crunch. That only whet her hunger even more. She longed to scarf down the rest of the bunch, but knew that if she did, she would have nothing left for the rest of the day. "Not now, not now," she silently repeated, willing herself to show restraint. Then a thought occurred to her. "I still have 10 soybeans, but what good will they be if a bomb falls on this shelter and we all die? Maybe I ought to eat them while I can." She had another thought. What if we don't get hit here, but a bomb burns down my house? What if, when I go home, I find out that the house is gone and that Daddy and Mother are dead? What shall I do then? Perhaps I had better eat the 10 soybeans now after all. Such worries spun around and around in her head, filling her with sorrow. I do hope our house hasn't burned down. She ate 2 more soybeans. The all-clear siren sounded a while later, and Totto and her schoolmates were finally able to crawl out of the shelter. "We're finished for the day," the teacher said. "You may all go home." But the closer Totto got to her house, the more frightened she became that it would no longer be standing. Thankfully, she found her home looking just as it had when she left that morning. "Phew, the house hasn't burned down, and Mother and Daddy are alive, and I still have 8 soybeans. A wave of relief passed over her. On nights when Totto was so famished that she couldn't sleep, she drew pictures of her dream menu items. Mother had invented the game. To play, you sketched the foods you wished to eat and then went through all the motions, giving thanks for the meal, munching mouthfuls of air, asking for seconds. I'll have another. Over and over they drew pictures of sweet egg omelets, grilled meat, and other fancies, and pretend chewed them all. Eventually, the distributed rations were reduced to something called kelp noodles. To make them, thick kelp that had washed ashore was ground into powder, combined with a starchy vegetable konjac, and rolled into thin noodles that resembled udon. Totto didn't like them because they reminded her of frog eggs, but there was nothing else to eat. And since the family had already run out of condiments with which to season anything, they simply had to boil the frog eggs and slurp them down as best they could. One winter Sunday, Totto headed out for the Sunday school at Senzoku Church, which she had been attending since she was a little girl. It was drizzling lightly, and the air was very cold. As she walked, she murmured her usual, "We're cold, sleepy, and hungry" chant that somehow always helped her feel as though she were on a special excursion. An icy wind was howling, causing a few tears to trickle down her cheeks. She must have been making a strange face, too. "Hey you!" a policeman barked at her. "Why are you crying?" Totto wiped away her tears and replied, "Because it's cold." "Think about the soldiers at war," the policeman shouted. "They don't cry just because it's cold, and neither should you. Stop that at once." His anger stunned Totto. Apparently, wartime meant no crying either. "I don't want to be yelled at again," she thought. "And if you can't cry when you're at war, then I won't cry anymore, even if I am cold, sleepy, and hungry. The soldiers have it much, much worse than me." That was the best Totto could do.